Good day, viewers and scholars all over the world. Once again, you are welcome to a fun, interesting physics class with Teacher Oge. Today, we shall be looking at the topic physical quantities. Again, physical quantities. What are physical quantities? Physical quantities are things that are measurable. Whatever material we can measure to obtain the actual magnitude or size is called a physical quantity. Physical quantities are those things we can measure. So once you see that an object or a material can be measured, that material automatically becomes a physical quantity. If I can measure the time from my wristwatch, then time is a physical quantity. If I can take a thermometric reading from a thermometer, it's a physical quantity. If I can measure the actual pressure in a given container, is a quantity. So in summary, anything that is measurable is a physical quantity. Now we move on to types of physical quantity. We have two types of physical quantity: the fundamental quantity and the derived quantity. The fundamental quantity and the derived quantity. What are fundamental quantity? Fundamental quantities are those quantities that are independent of other quantities, but with them other quantities are made. Again, they are basic quantities which are independent of other quantities, but with them other quantities are made. Now let's put more light on what we have just defined. They are basic quantities, number one. They are independent of other quantities, number two. Number 3 point is that with them, other quantities are made. Let's relate this to a physical phenomenon. Example, in a construction environment where quantities like or materials like water, block, cement, stone, sand are needed. Among the ones I've listed, there are basic ones there. The water, the sand, the stone are basic quantity. Why do I call them basic? They are needed for the fundamental work there. Without water, we can't talk about block. Without water, we can't talk about plastering. Without sand, the same thing. In other words, and we cannot say that the companies producing water has or are all closed up, so there is no water needed for the work. These are basic quantities which are independent of other quantities, but with them other quantities are made. In the same manner, let's come back to physics. There are many quantities in physics. There are many physical quantities in physics. We have mass, we have time, we have length, we have temperature, we have pressure, we have momentum, we have talk many and many of them. Trust, so many force. There are many physical quantities. Now, among these numerous quantities, there are only 7 fundamental quantities. There are only 7 fundamental quantities, which we shall be enumerating later. Then, before we go to that, into the enumeration, let us talk about something very vital. And what is this? The units. Each quantity is given a unit that must distinguish it from other quantities. I come out again and relate it with real life phenomenon. For instance, the surname. In real life, every one of us know that each name in the class has a surname attributed to it that distinguishes that particular name from other names in the class. If I should have a Jane in the class and another Jane in the class, making up 2 Janes in my class, if I want to call on any of the Jane, I must assign a surname to the particular Jane I'm looking for. If, let's say I have Oka for Jane, Adeyemi Jane, then if I should just come in and call Jane, I am causing a coerced situation in the classroom because none of them will know if I am referring to him or her. But immediately I call Oka for Jane. Adeyemi Jane will be busy with her work, knowing fully well that I was not referring to her. That is because the surname has distinguished the two Janes from each other. In the same manner, we have these fundamental quantities in physics has names that are assigned to each of them that distinguish each from other physical quantity. For instance, let's go to the board. I have mass is a quantity. I have time is a quantity. I have length is a quantity. Now, there are many names which are assigned to mass that distinguished mass from time. There are names assigned to time that distinguished it from length. Now, these names for mass are like kilogram, the gram, the ton, and so on. We go to time. There are names assigned to time, like the seconds, the minutes, the hour, and so on. The same thing in length. We have names assigned to length. We have the meter, we have the centimeter, we have the kilometer, and so on. These are all names given to mass, length, time, and the length. In other words, if I should have a number or a constant, let's say in a question I say a body 2 kilogram, all the students there answering the question must have known that that 2 kilogram belongs to mass. If I should say 2 seconds, that seconds is attached to the number 2, making that 2 to belong to the value of time. In the same manner, so let me come back to the physical world. The Adeyemi and the Okafor I've used are two surnames. And the Adeyemi and the Okafor, which are assigned to the name Jane, distinguishing them, are from different tribes. If a new student should be in the class for the first time that day, and let's say the student is from Yoruba land, immediately the name Adeyemi Jane is called. She or he smiles in her heart, oh, I have a brother or a sister in this class. Why? Because she already know that Adeyemi belongs to the Yoruba group and the Okafor belongs to the Igbo group. In the same manner, the kilogram, the gram, and the ton are all names given to mass. But in physics, which we are today, there are names we accept. If we units we accept, we don't take various units. And those units we accept are the basic of this lesson. Those units we accept are the ones we call the SI unit. I said the SI units. They are called the Standard International, known as the Standard International Unit of Measurement, generally accepted in physics. They are the only one accepted. In other words, when you come to physics and you are given 2 grams and you work with it, except is an objective question when you see that the option demands gram. If it is not an objective question and you work with gram, automatically you fail the question. You are expected to convert, which will be our next topic, convert from gram to kilogram. If you are given 2 minutes and you go ahead to work with it, when it is not needed, you will fail. You convert minutes to seconds. So these basic units that are generally accepted as our standard international unit of measurement in our subject is what we call SI units. Now, I shall be summarizing the 7 fundamental quantities and their SI units. I said the 7 fundamental quantities and their SI units. The first one is length. The SI unit is meter. The symbol is M. The mass. The SI unit is kilogram. The symbol is kg. The time, seconds, S. The temperature, Kelvin, K. Then the electric current, ampere, A. The amount of substance, mole. Then luminous intensity, candela, CD. These are the 7 fundamental quantities. 7 fundamental quantities. In our next class, we shall be talking about the derived quantities. If our video has helped you, all we beg, or what I'm asking, is that you go to the like button, click on it, like, subscribe, and share, and then follow us for more. Thank you.